Hi everyone, I have another deck here from my collection which has so far been in storage. It may unfortunately have to return to storage in the medium term because of a constant demand for living space efficiency around my current abode. So this is Rikit, dated 2010, and it is by Lynyrd Narcisso. I hope that's how I pronounce his name. If not, please do correct me in the comment section below. So Rikit, I think you say Rikit, and there is a little bit about the deck here. It's a majors only deck. I received it on a trade. Lynyrd Narcisso's Rikit is an artistic experiment featuring select visual thematic elements from a cosmopolitan range of Southeast Asian palettes, conceptually collaged into the archetypical molds of the tarot's major arcana. This deck is numbered 6, I think that's a 6. It looks like Sixth Sense. No, 46. Oh my goodness. 46 of a limited edition run of only 50 copies. I think he did another deck which is Asian themed as well, and it's landscaped like that, but I don't like that so much, so I traded that off. So that's the back of the cards. It reminds me of my great-grandmother's sarong batik. It is very I'll talk about that in my other channel. But this kind of coloring usually is worn for a mourning period, as in period of mourning after a death of a family member, or when you go and visit other families during a mourning period. You would wear a white top and the sarong batik at the hip wrapper. I think you call them hip wrapper in English. The cloth that you wrap around your hip would normally be this kind of coloring. But it is also very Chinese if you look at these clouds, and if you've seen my Javanese folk tales tarot stories, in one of the stories, in one of the major arcana cards, there is this kind of cloud, Megamandung, this kind of Chinese-like cloud pattern. And my great-grandmother's from Cirebon, and of course that part of Java, Cirebon, was heavily influenced by the Chinese culture due to one of the sultans in those days marrying several Chinese princesses. So we'll put that there. And so this is the Fool. This kind of weaving of what do you call this? I don't even know what you call this. It gives me a warm, fussy feeling of deep familiarity, which is about as close as I get to feel like I am home. And the price you have to pay for being multicultural is that home is hard to pin down. And so when I see things like this, I feel like I am home, and it's nice. It's a nice feeling. So this looks like a Balinese priest, just from his headgear over there. And of course this is the magician. That looks like a okay, that's one that's interesting. A bit of offering here with some rice. I don't think the Balinese actually perform rituals this way, but I get the idea with all the elements are incorporated: fire, water, etc., etc. High Priestess. I wonder if there's any stories or folk lore behind each of these cards. I would love to know, actually. I just love the patterning, don't you? The colors and the texture, or the visual texture, this sort of patterns. It's really rich. This almost feels like South Pacific more than South Asian, or more than Southeast Asian. Interesting. Maybe this is supposed to be Java, who knows. That is a giant keris. I've never seen a keris this large. That kind of size would be a sword, so it'll be interesting to know if that kind of weapon actually exists. And I can't quite place where this outfit's from. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out that headgear there. This is the Emperor. Feel free to comment below if you have any guesses in terms of which area in Southeast Asia the tradition may have came from. The Hierophant, or if you know of any stories associated with these artworks. I have no idea what that's about or where that's from. This one feels Laotian or Cambodian. The Lovers. The Chariot. I love the visual texture. It's amazing. I love it. That is somebody with a crocodile. I can never quite know the difference between alligator and crocodile. I know one is smaller than the other. One is saltwater, the other one is freshwater? I don't know. No idea. This is the Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. That fan. Just all these flashes of memories of my childhood. So nice to have those memories, to be in that headspace is really nice. And of course with Studio Ghibli's jazz in the background. If you know Hayao Miyazaki, those animations from Studio Ghibli. This is Justice. Then there's a story about someone picking rice. I have a sense of familiarity about this. I wish I can remember what that story is about. That's Hanged Man. So Hayao Miyazaki did all these animations like My Friend Totoro and then the Spirited Away. And if you think those are child's play, he actually, underlying all those cuteness, he actually touched on very, very serious, sometimes quite intense issues. Like with Spirited Away, if you remember this nameless, shapeless black blob, someone was saying how that's a really subtle dig on this hidden social epidemic that is child sexual predatory behaviors by nameless, faceless, dark, you know, it's very, very actually quite serious. And if you watch My Friend Totoro, I gave a DVD for my nephew and my niece, and my brother said it's about death, and I said, yeah, I know. So it's about dealing with death during childhood, actually, My Friend Totoro. My Friend Totoro, that's Temperance. And so this devil, I know that character as Barong, B-A-R-O-N-G. I can understand why he has been chosen as the devil, because aesthetically that works, but I can't quite remember the story of the Barong itself, what it means or what he's supposed to represent, he or she. I'll come back with some more information on that maybe on my other channel. It's just a bit more cultural than spiritual, so I'll talk about it there. That one there, if you remember, I showed you my sacred space, contemplative space, that one there. I said that, I mentioned that my maternal grandparents used to place lit incense sticks in a bowl full of uncooked rice. So if you see there, I'm not quite sure if that rice is cooked and is actually part of the offering for the altar though. But this reminds me of how my grandparents put incense stick into a mound of uncooked rice in a pot, in a bowl, or in a small, what you guys would call cauldron, but it's a Chinese cauldron. I don't know what else to call it. And is that, I'm not quite sure if that little house is on fire. Is that why that's the tower? So, yeah. That's a star. See, surely there's a story there. I mean, with that kind of image, it's just not possible that there's no story there. Three-headed. Is that a salamander? Is that a lizard? I know that fish, I don't know what you call that in English. We call that fish lele, lele fish. The one with the mustache, not mustache, you know what I mean, those two things sticking out of its mouth, or by the side of its, basically like a mustache, that one there. And so she's covered, and I wonder what the story there is, the moon. If anyone know where I can find the write-up for these cards, I would love to know where I can find them. Where I can find it, the sun. I might Google it actually. That's a rooster. Yeah. Judgment. Flute. All these masks floating up in that smoke from that jar. Is this Laotian? Cambodian? Thai? I don't think it's Thai. Not sure. In the world. So there is a horse person, there is a mermaid with two tails, there is a woman with a snake body, and there is someone with a head of a bird and the wings as arm. Interesting. Yes, if anyone knows if there's any write-up on these majors that I can find online, I will look myself, but it would be good to know what the stories are behind each of these cards. So that is the Tarot Rikit, Tarot Rikit. I think you say Rikit with a roll R, Rikit, Rikit. My friends used to make fun of Indonesian because we roll our R's very hardly compared to the Malaysians when they speak Bahasa Melayu. Bahasa Indonesia has lots more R, rolled R's, but like the American English and the British English, I suppose. So Tarot Rikit by Lynyrd Narcisso. Thanks for watching. Bye.